Like people, vultures get set in their ways and have fewer friends as they age. New research busts the myth that crossbred designer dogs are healthier than pedigrees. Retiring a year later than expected increases the probability of dying before age 70.
Promising antibiotic candidates discovered in microbes deep in the Arctic Sea. Chemists achieve PFAS-free synthesis of fluorinated pharmaceutical and agrochemical compounds. Ancient gene gives spiders their narrow waist, research reveals.
Alibaba Tongyi Qianwen team launches Qwen 2 VL model to support real-time analysis of dynamic videos. Gmail users on Android can now chat with Gemini about their emails. ChatGPT's weekly active users have doubled since last year to 200 million, and 92% of Fortune 500 companies use OpenAI products.
Quick commerce unicorn Zepto raises $340 million in follow-on round. Valuation jumps to $5 billion. Decision in Apple tax case to be issued on September 10th by top EU court. Affirm shares of best day in 3 years surged 32% after earnings beat.
South Korean crypto firm Haru Invest CEO stabbed during fraud trial, police say. Kylian Mbappe's X account hack fuels $1 million crypto scam. Backpage.com founder Michael Lacey sentenced to 5 years in prison, fined $3 million for money laundering.
U.S. House Committee plans for heap of crypto hearings in September. Crypto hacks surged to over $1.2 billion in 2024, Immunify reports. Crypto ATMs surged 17 times in Australia, amid concerns over use by bad actors.
Earth has planet-wide electric field that's equally important as gravity. New Horizons spacecraft measurements shed light on the darkness of the universe. International consortium with NASA reveals hidden impact of spaceflight on gut health.
Crypto.com taps Standard Chartered to offer fiat services to users globally. El Salvador's Bukele says Bitcoin strategy a net positive, but adoption lags. Binance CEO Tung rejects allegations the exchange froze all Palestinians' funds.
Maduro says, no one messed with Brazil when Bolsonaro contested the election. China's Communist Party brings in new rules to regulate faith, loyalty, and performance. Church of England dropping word church to be more modern.
Uganda police find 24 human skulls at Kampala shrine. Cucumber shortage in Iceland triggered by viral TikTok trend. Officials probe death of Wells Fargo employee found dead in her cubicle 4 days after last scanning into work.
France to trial ban on mobile phones at school for children under 15. China's internet users near 1.1 billion, driven by short videos and mobile payments. China ally Solomon Islands irked over conditions in Australia brokered Pacific police deal. Indonesia and Australia to hold complex defense drills as security ties deepen. Afghanistan is grateful to Russia for support, announced Taliban's chief logistics officer.
Tencent, NetEase rethink Japan investments after yielding few blockbuster video games. Steam suffers major DDoS attack during launch of Black Myth, Wukong. F-Movies, the largest movie streaming piracy ring in the world, just got shut down.
China says EU brandy being dumped on local market, but won't impose duties, for now. US and European airlines pay more, lose out to Chinese carriers amid Russian airspace closure. Galactic Energy launches 6 satellites, in third sea launch.
Iranian hackers target U.S. in ransomware and espionage attacks. Vietnamese human rights group targeted in multi-year cyberattack by APT-32. Durex India spilled customers' private order data.
Russian and Senegalese FM discuss development, security in bilateral meeting. Serbia makes a $3 billion deal to buy 12 French warplanes, in a shift away from Russia. China's international use of renminbi surges to record highs.
China's ambassador to U.S. says, no reason why China and U.S. relations should be zero-sum game. She meets U.S. National Security Advisor as the two powers work to avoid conflict. TASS reports as, China, U.S. failed to make progress in discussing Ukraine crisis, says U.S. Security Advisor. Kamala Harris pitches continuity in China Light first interview since nomination. Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway hits $1 trillion market value, first U.S. company outside of tech to do so. NVIDIA announces financial results for second quarter fiscal 2024, up 88% from Q1, up 101% from year ago. Wealthy are purchasing doomsday luxury bomb shelters amid social unrest, says founder.
Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh unable to confirm that Ukraine's F-16 was downed by friendly fire. Ukraine admits loss of F-16, which it says crashed while repelling Russian attack this week. Kiev announces plans to transport Azerbaijani gas to Europe instead of Russian, by Podolyak. Russian central bank says new rate hike in September is not a certainty. France's Macron says giving Telegram CEO Durov French citizenship, the man with 4 passports, was a good thing, and arrested Telegram CEO Pavel Durov met with Macron several times before obtaining French nationality. Telegram CEO Durov indicted in France, banned from leaving country, as France charges Telegram CEO Pavel Durov, releases him on €5 million bail. Macron asked Pavel Durov to move Telegram headquarters to Paris in 2018, Wall Street Journal reports.
Harris rules out fracking ban, threading needle on fossil fuels, and Kamala Harris defends policy shifts in first interview of U.S. presidential campaign. China promotes bamboo as eco-friendly substitute for plastic. Renewables generated 40% of global electricity for first time ever in 2023. Canada's 2023 wildfires released more greenhouse gases than most countries. Floods in Yemen kill at least 33 people, damage more than 200 homes. Possible record heat index of 82.2 degrees centigrade reported in southern Iran.
Lego to replace oil in its bricks with pricier renewable plastic. Shimano patents wireless, electric cycling shoes that adjust automatically. Physicists accidentally found a new way to represent pi.
Israel launches large-scale West Bank raid as minister calls for Gaza-style operation. 5 Palestinian gunmen, including top commander, killed by IDF at West Bank mosque. Top Hamas official Mashal urges resumption of suicide bombings against Israel.
Israeli companies banned from winning Irish defense contracts, announced Taoiseach, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ireland. In the U.S., Army signed $1 billion deal for massive order of Switchblade kamikaze drones.
India's student suicide rate surpasses population growth rate. Suicide rates in England and Wales reach highest level since 1999. Ryan Reynolds says it's time for an Oscar for stunt performers. Workers in UK to be granted right to demand 4 days week. Oprah Winfrey to interview Bill Gates, Sam Altman, MKBHD, and others on AI, during our long primetime event.
Borrell asks EU to consider sanctions on 2 Israeli ministers. As EU foreign policy chief tables sanctions on hardline Israeli ministers for hate crimes, and EU's Borrell fails in attempt to impose sanctions on Ben-Gvir, Smotrich. Canadians split on taking in more Gazan refugees, concern about screening, as per poll.
Spain blocks Hungarian rail bid over possible Russia ties, and for Telgo takeover. Brussels raises no objection to Spanish veto of Hungarian bid. Circles of Hungarian national arrested in the U.S. likely received hundreds of thousands of euros from Hungarian state in Russia. Recently in the U.S., a Hungarian national arrested on charges of conspiring to export 200 U.S. military-grade radios into Russia. In Nord Stream case, saboteur is said to have fled in a diplomatic car.
Samsung to display Galaxy AI, One UI, SmartThings, ties and improvements in October. Google quietly added dual-screen interpreter mode for foldables to the Google Translate app.
American archaeologist dies after Viking ship replica capsizes off Norway. Lonely dolphin may be behind series of attacks on swimmers in Japan. Amanda Stenberg says, the Acolyte being cancelled was not a huge shock after rampage of vitriol from toxic Star Wars fans.
Putin to visit ICC signatory Mongolia despite arrest warrant. EU to move forward with Russian asset plan regardless of US. US threatens sanctions against countries hosting Russian banks. Harris says, appointing a Republican to her cabinet would benefit Americans. Harris has 48% support to Trump's 47%, says Wall Street Journal poll. Vance urges Till to get off the sidelines and support Trump.
Marijuana user cannot be banned from gun ownership. U.S. court rules. Illegal migrants do not have gun rights protected by Second Amendment, as per Federal Appeals Court. In Germany, for reaction to Solingen event, federal government agrees on security and migration package, as Germany tightens weapons, deportation rules after fatal attack.
In the UK, shops buying stolen goods from professional shoplifters, retail groups say. Dollar General stock price plunges 30% as company says customers don't have enough money to shop there. Lululemon, Hermes copies entice China's shoppers away from labels. Threads starting to roll out the ability for Threads users who've turned on sharing to the Fediverse, the collection of social networking services, to see and like replies from people on other servers across Threads. Meta now allows preteens to explore Horizon worlds with parents' permission. Commercial spyware vendor exploits used by Kremlin-backed hackers. Google says, as Russian group targeted Mongolian government with exploits used by NSO Group. Unpatchable zero-day in surveillance cam is being exploited to install Mirai as unpatched Avtech IP camera flaw exploited by hackers for botnet attacks. NATO believes Russia poses a threat to the West's internet and GPS services. Yelp sues Google over dominance in local search. Alibaba wins Beijing's approval and end to years-long scrutiny. Samsung shows interest in Nokia Mobile Networks assets, Bloomberg News reports. Belarusian fighter jets shot down Shahid drone over their country. North Korea unveils clones of Israeli kamikaze drones. Pentagon withholds $5 million per F-35 jet as deliveries resume.
Netherlands OK's use of its F-16S by Ukraine on Russian territory. We are not at war with Moscow. Italy bans Ukraine from using its weapons to strike Russia. A very big Russia problem. NATO commander warns of post-Ukraine war threat to US and Europe.
Salmon will soon swim freely in the Klamath River for first time in a century once dams are removed. Israel and Hamas agree to zoned 3 days pauses for Gaza polio vaccinations, WHO says. In the UK, smoking ban in pub gardens and outdoor venues being considered due to huge burden on NHS, Starmer says.
Denmark wants to ban encrypted Telegram and Signal chats. Indonesia considers banning Telegram over poor content moderation. In the absence of a representative for the X network in Brazil, the STF blocks financial resources from Elon Musk's Starlink.
All states plan to raise home insurance premiums by 34% approved by California officials. Hong Kong can expect 3 to 5 more typhoons in 2024, Observatory says. EV prices need to drop by 1/3 if Canada wants to hit sales targets, says government report.
New Zealand says Australian-owned banks run oligopoly. U.S. Latinos contributed $1.3 trillion to the GDP, about as much as Florida's economy, report finds. In Argentina, for pension moratorium, 70% of those who retired in 2022 did so without contributions.
Paralympic Games begin with dazzling opening ceremony through heart of Paris. Taliban bans mixed martial arts for being too violent. Private equity sets sights on $30 billion youth sports industry.
China's dielectric wafers made of artificial sapphire could extend battery life. SK Hynix develops 6th-generation 10 nanometers class DDR5, with the world's first 16GB DRAM modules. Chipmaker claims electric savings of up to 30% for data centers. NVIDIA's future relies on chips that push technology's limits.
Apple blocked from training Apple Intelligence on several publishing websites. And Apple's new iOS developer beta lets you remove objects from pictures using AI. Generative AI coding startup Magic lands $320 million investment from Eric Schmidt, Atlassian, and others. In Germany, the coalition government wants to allow facial recognition with internet photos. GM must face big class action over faulty transmissions. 5 months ago, GM 8-speed transmission lawsuit granted class action certification. Toyota global output falls for 6th straight month in July. Mazda 3 4th generation's class action lawsuit claims defects for thousands of vehicles. NVIDIA. Apple in talks to join OpenAI's new funding round, valuing it at over $1 billion US. Dell raises forecasts as demand surges for NVIDIA-powered AI servers. California legislature passes controversial kill switch AI safety bill.
In the U.S., Army says Arlington National Cemetery worker was pushed aside by Trump aides. Arlington worker in altercation with Trump staffers not pressing charges because she fears retaliation. Jack White says he's suing Trump campaign over 7 Nation Army video. ABBA demand Trump campaign stop using their music at rallies.
£1 billion spent housing homeless families in England. In Canada, Poilievre says he would set immigration targets based on housing, jobs, and healthcare trends. 72 million Americans receive Social Security benefits.
J.D. Vance booed by firefighter union audience. After Walz's appeal to same group, Kamala Harris could make history as the first president to work at McDonald's. Musk's X censors coverage of Trump's Arlington incident, citing potential spam. As X flags NPR story on Trump, Arlington as unsafe. Winona Ryder says, being blatantly sexually harassed in her 20s and 30s soured her desire to make movies. Kate Blanchett says there is a distinct lack of shame in modern society. Tokyo Film Festival launches Women's Empowerment section. Pentagon approves additional support to Secret Service for election campaigns. FBI accesses encrypted email accounts of Trump shooter. And FBI sees no definitive ideology for Trump shooter. The plot to attack Taylor Swift's Vienna shows was intended to kill thousands, a CIA official says. World's lowest birth rate spurs Korea to hire foreign nannies. Trump says he wants to make IVF treatments paid for by government or insurance companies. If elected, condom use is decreasing in a worrying way among European adolescents.
U.S. Congress House plans votes on Biosecure Act, other measures hitting China. Local governments in China to smash iron pots, sell the steel to stave off debt risk.
Trump asks federal court to intervene in hush money case in bid to toss conviction, delay sentencing. Trump campaign was warned not to take photos at Arlington before altercation, defense official says. Trump shares social media posts with QAnon phrases and calls for jailing lawmakers, special counsel.
Musk beats suit over promoting Dogecoin pyramid scheme. Former FTX executive Ryan Salami drops bid to vacate conviction. Shiba Inu, SHIB, can now be used as collateral on Kraken exchange.
Former Russian Deputy Defense Minister Pavel Popov detained on fraud charges. Iran's supreme leader opens door to negotiations with U.S. over Tehran's nuclear program. UK's Starmer calls for European cooperation to tackle far-right.
One more drop in the AI ocean. Thudum/CogVideoX 5B. CogVideoX is an open-source version of the video generation model originating from Qingying. This model supports deployment using the Hugging Face Diffusers library. PyTorch AO and Optimum Quanto can be used to quantize the text encoder, transformer, and VE modules to lower the memory requirement of CogVideoX. This makes it possible to run the model on free-tier T4 Collab or smaller VRAM GPUs as well.
CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA and partners release advisory on Ransom Hub ransomware. CISA releases 3 industrial control systems advisories. CISA adds 1 known exploited vulnerability to catalog. CISA and partners release advisory on Iran-based cyber actors enabling ransomware attacks on U.S. organizations. Versa Networks releases advisory for a vulnerability in Versa Director, CVE 2024-39717.
Steam's hottest games. Global top-selling and top-played games across Steam. From the top 100 products by revenue for Tuesday, August 20th, 2024 to Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. Black Myth, Wukong, Counter-Strike 2, PUBG, Battlegrounds, Dota 2, Warframe, Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2.
Apple App Store for iPhone, top paid games, from 30 August 2024. Minecraft, Heads Up, Plague Incorporated Bloons TD6, Geometry Dash, Papa's Freezeria to go. Top paid Android games on Google Play US for 30 August 2024. Minecraft, Bloons TD6, Geometry Dash, Stardew Valley, Slay the Spire.
Nintendo US Digital Bestsellers from 30 August 2024. Castlevania Dominus Collection, Cult of the Lamb, Pizza Tower, Minecraft, Stardew Valley, Inside, Hogwarts Legacy, Overcooked 2. From the Netflix Global Top 10 list of August 19th to August 25th, 2024. Weekly top lists of the most watched TV in English. Emily in Paris, Season 4. American Murder, Lacey Peterson, Season 1. Wyatt Earp and the Cowboy War, Season 1. The Umbrella Academy, Season 4. Weekly top lists of the most viewed TV, non-English. The Accident, Season 1. Love Next Door, Limited Series. Back to 15, Season 3. The Frog, Limited Series. Romance in the House, Limited Series. Terror Tuesday, Extreme, Season 1.
From the Netflix Global Top 10 list of August 19th to August 25th, 2024. Weekly list of the most viewed films in English. The Union, Incoming, Untold, The Murder of Air McNair, Migration, Kingsman: The Secret Service. Weekly list of the most viewed films, non-English. I Can't Live Without You.
Calchi 2898 AD, Indie.
Nice Girls, Mission Cross, Lolo and the Kid, Furahi Hassin Dilruba, Under Paris.
Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global. From the Friday, August 23rd to Thursday, August 29th, 2024. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars. Birds of a Feather, Billie Eilish. Please, 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 Sabrina Carpenter. Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter. Fujimin. Taste, Sabrina Carpenter. Si antes te hubiera conocido, Karol G. Bulak. Bubby, Chapel Roan.
Top hits on Apple Music the 30th of August, 2024. Taste, Sabrina Carpenter. Please, 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 Sabrina Carpenter. Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Birds of a Feather, Billie Eilish. Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar. A Bar Song, Tipsy, Shabuzi. Bed Chemistry, Sabrina Carpenter. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube Music Charts, Global Top Songs August 16th to August 22nd, 2024. New Woman, feat. Rosalia, Lisa. Sciantes T. Hubiera Conocido, Carol G. H. Kirat, Mathubanti Bakchi, Divya. Garter Only, Floy Mena and Chris MJ. Bye Bye Bye, Insing. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Ae Nai, Omitob Bhattacharya. Alibi, Savdaliza, Pablo Vittar and Usult. Big Dogs, Hannah Mankind and Kami.
Crypto, streaming, tech and more. Daily News Digest 30. August 2024.